In October 1996, The X-Files aired an episode in America called Home. It was the second episode of the show's fourth season and the first X-Files episode to open with a viewer discretion warning. Home wasn't technically banned because it had already been broadcast, but Fox removed it from the programme's normal repeat schedule. When it finally aired again on Halloween 1999, Fox advertised it as the episode that had been banned from television for 3 years. And when you watch it, it's not difficult to understand why. I first watched Home in 1997 on Sky One when it aired in England. I was about 17, and at the time, I absolutely loved The X-Files. But out of all the episodes that I ever watched, this one is the one that just stayed with me. Mainly because of the Peacock brothers, and because obviously what they find in that house. Home starts in the middle of a thunderstorm. Inside an old filthy farmhouse, a woman is giving birth, while 3 badly deformed men act as midwives. The baby's born with several physical abnormalities. Without saying a word, the 3 men carry it outside into the rain. They place the baby into a shallow grave and begin covering it with soil. The scene is shown from inside the grave as dirt falls towards the camera. The baby is still alive. There's no mystery about what the men are doing. Before the opening titles have even appeared, we've watched them bury a newborn baby alive. Watching it again recently, the opening is every bit as horrible as I remember. The episode gives you no time to settle in, just throws you straight into something that's deeply unpleasant, and this is only the first few minutes. The following day, a group of boys are playing baseball in a field near the farmhouse. The game's interrupted when they discover the baby's body underneath the ground. The local sheriff, Andy Taylor, contacts the FBI, bringing Mulder and Scully to the small town of Home, Pennsylvania. At first, the town seems peaceful and completely untouched by the outside world. Sheriff Taylor is proud that Home has very little crime. He knows everybody that lives there, and he wants to preserve the town exactly as it is. But the Peacock family have always remained separate from the rest of the community. The farmhouse has no electricity, running water, or heating. The family have apparently lived there since the American Civil War, surviving almost entirely on their own. The current inhabitants are 3 brothers, Edmund, George, and Sherman Peacock. The Peacock brothers themselves are scary before they've even done anything. It's the way they just stand there together and stare at Mulder and Scully. They don't need to speak. You immediately know there's something wrong inside that house. And what makes it worse is there's nothing paranormal about them. No aliens, no ghosts, no supernatural monsters. They're just people. When Mulder and Scully approach the farmhouse, the brothers stand on the porch and silently watch them. Their appearance suggests some serious genetic abnormalities. Sheriff Taylor explains that the Peacock parents suddenly died years earlier, leaving the 3 brothers alone. That creates an obvious question. If the brothers live in the farmhouse alone, who gave birth to the baby? An autopsy reveals that the child's deformities were caused by generations of inbreeding. Scully also discovers soil in the baby's lungs, confirming it was still alive when the brothers buried it. When they search the apparently empty farmhouse, they find blood, a pair of scissors, and a shovel used to bury the child. They found enough evidence to arrest the brothers. Unfortunately, the Peacocks already know they're being investigated. That night, the Peacock brothers drive their white Cadillac to Sheriff Taylor's house. As the song Wonderful Wonderful plays from the car, they quietly enter the building. The sheriff realises there's something wrong and tells his wife Barbara to hide underneath the bed. He tries to defend their own, but the brothers overpower him and beat him to death. Barbara remains hidden, listening as her husband is murdered. Then the bed's lifted away. The brothers have found her. The attack's brutal. But what makes the scene much more disturbing comes from the music. The warm, cheerful song continues playing while the Peacocks murder the sheriff and his wife. The episode takes something comforting and nostalgic and turns it into part of the horror. This is probably the scene that makes Home go from disturbing to genuinely frightening. The violence is bad enough, but it's the music, the cheerful music playing over the top, that makes it feel even more twisted. You're watching 2 ordinary people being murdered in their own home, while Wonderful Wonderful plays in the background. It's a scene that's very hard to forget. Laboratory tests confirm that both the baby's parents came from the Peacock family. Mulder and Scully return to the farmhouse with Deputy Barney Pastor, believing the brothers are holding the baby's mother captive. The house has been filled with homemade traps. When Pastor breaks through the front door, a concealed axe swings down and kills him instantly. Mulder and Scully decide to release the family's pigs, hoping the noise will draw the brothers outside. The plan works. While the Peacocks search the farm, Mulder and Scully enter the house and begin looking for the missing woman. They eventually find a wooden board fitted with wheels underneath one of the beds. Lying on it, Mrs Peacock. Then we get the moment that stayed in my mind ever since I first saw the episode. The mother under the bed. Even though I knew what was coming when I watched the episode again, it still got to me. It's not just what she looks like, it's the realisation that she hasn't been taken prisoner. She's the head of the family, and what's happening, she wants to keep happening. She wants to continue it. Mrs Peacock is a quadruple amputee. She was believed to have died in a car crash years earlier, but she'd been hidden inside the farmhouse all this time. Mulder and Scully initially believe they finally found the Peacock's prisoner. Then they learn the truth. Mrs Peacock is the mother of the 3 boys. The dead baby belonged to the same family. She isn't being held against her will. Her sons protect and care for her, and she controls the family from underneath the bed. The episode takes the idea of a loving, close-knit family and turns it into something completely horrific. The brothers realise Mulder and Scully are inside the farmhouse and return to attack them. George and Sherman continue fighting, even after being shot several times. One of them is eventually killed by one of the family's own traps, while the other dies during the struggle. But Edmund, the eldest brother, escapes. By the time Mulder and Scully return for Mrs Peacock, the board underneath the bed is empty, and Edmund has placed his mother inside the boot of the Cadillac. As they drive away, Mrs Peacock tells him they can find somewhere new and start a new family. The ending makes the episode even worse. Normally, Mulder and Scully just solve the case and whatever they're chasing is stopped. But not here. Edmund escapes with his mother, and the two of them are planning to start the whole thing somewhere else. The danger hasn't gone away, it's just found a new home. Home doesn't contain aliens, demons, or anything supernatural. Its horror comes from isolation, violence, and a family that's created its own rules behind closed doors. The episode attacks the idea of the safe family home. Sheriff Taylor and Barbara are murdered in their own bedroom. Mrs Peacock lives underneath her bed. Even the peaceful town of Home is unable to protect the people that live there. The story also refuses to give us a comforting ending. 2 of the brothers are dead, but the family survives. Edmund and his mother are still out there, searching for somewhere new to begin again. That's why Home wasn't simply shocking television in 1996. To this day, it's one of the most disturbing episodes of The X-Files ever made. I think that's why Home has stayed with me for so long after watching it. It isn't disturbing just because of the violent scenes or the shocking images. It's the whole atmosphere. It's the farmhouse, the brothers, the sheriff's death, the mother under the bed. Nearly after 30 years after watching it, it's still one of the most shocking episodes of TV I've ever seen.